Afternoon, Jack.
Mate, how are you?
I'm all right. Are you?
Yeah, good, mate. I'm getting cold out here, though, I tell you.
You need to be inside.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So is this
That's
the
where we
actual,
are.
this is the actual showroom or the actual cooking?
No, this is our school.
Oh,
So this is where we do all our classes from. So we've got the old Broil King wood pellets. We've
Lovely.
got a KJ Classic 1. We've got the Classic 2. We've got the Classic 3. We've got the Broil King. We've got the King of Traegers. We've got a Dalek, an Everjoe by Heston.
Yeah.
We've got some churros. We've got rotisserie from churros on the T4. We've got the cold smoker. We have Napoleon in the house.
Well,
And then, if it's a bit too warm, which it isn't today, we go outside and we've got beautiful views over Rutland Water.
Oh, amazing. So tell us exactly where you are in the country.
So we are, that down there is Rutland Water. So we're smack bang basically in the middle of the country, smallest county in the UK. It's just off the A1. So we're nice striking distance, in between Leicester and Nottinghamshire, Lincolnshire, somewhere in smack bang in the middle of there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So predominantly a barbecue school, or can you buy the grills from yourself? How's it work?
Yeah, we're still in the process of setting up the barbecue shop. We've got things online, so hoggiesgrill.com. You can go on there and we can buy things on there. But as you know, the world went crazy, didn't it? It turned upside down. We were supposed to be opening the shop first, but because of COVID and lockdown, everybody bought grills. So all the suppliers were out of grills. We didn't have any stock, so we changed it on the head and we opened the school first.
Right.
And then lockdown came and we couldn't have any pupils in the school.
I mean, yeah, because I think we met, didn't we, like January, February this year? We did the trade thing, then we did the tomato thing, and then after that, I was like, nah.
Just
can't see anybody.
Yeah. So it's been a weird year, but it's been really good that we can organically grow. We've done testing classes. We've had corporates through. We've had demo chefs through. We've had clients through, and we've run all our courses, and they've all been really well received. We've got gift certificates available online for Christmas presents, and it's got a real lovely vibe about what we're doing. And we've got
you got there, especially if it's indoors as well, because that's the main thing, isn't it? You know, people, especially now, it gets cold, the weather's unpredictable, but the fact that you've got a shelter and you can cook outdoors, indoors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is outdoor indoors, because we've got these lovely tarpaulins here in that we can lift them up and we'll be straight outside from the grill. So it is indoor, outdoor, all weather. Doesn't matter if it's dark, doesn't matter if it's cold, doesn't matter if it's wet or snowing. We had snow yesterday. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Did you not? We had a covering of snow yesterday. The traffic got to a standstill. It was il fait froid, and it was deep on the roads, and people getting stuck on the roads. And at one point, the police put out a flight request to the farmers with tractors to come and pull the lorries out of the ditches.
Bloody hell. Yeah, it wasn't that bad here.
Nah, it's grim up north.
Oh, yeah.
So what have you been up to?
So how do you structure your classes, though? Do you do like, have you got like a low and slow, or how do you do it?
Yeah, so at the moment we're running 4 or 5 classes. We've got smash burgers, pizzas. We do an intermediate, a beginner's course, or like you do your flatbreads with halloumi, with your classics, basically. Your grilled chickens, your beer can chickens, and desserts and everything. And then we go into the gourmet, where we've got slightly better meats with ribeyes and lobsters and fish. They all last about 4 hours. So 10 while 2, we try and teach people all the different of direct and indirect smoking, get them to have a go on the wood pellets, on the gas, on the charcoal, have a play around and to see what you want, or we can structure it to specific needs. If somebody wants to come in and learn how to cook on a KJ, or they want to cook on a wood pellet, or they want to get the best out of their gas, we've got different courses for different people.
Oh, brilliant, mate. And people, you know, gas, some people like sort of frown on it, don't they? But I tell you what, if you know the sort of little tricks to bring out the best in the gas barbecues, like adding pellets, wood pellets, or little smoking packets, you know, you can make amazing food on the gas barbecue.
You can make amazing food on the gas barbecue as well, and especially if you've got the rotisserie. And it's that theatre, isn't it? That when you open the barbecue and you've got a piece of meat, or even just a chicken, the plain old roast chicken on a Sunday, you have the chicken over the barbecue and you have your veg and your meat underneath, catching all the fat that drips off. It's different gravy. And yes, people frown on gas, and it's quick, it's convenient, but there's place for it. And you can cook amazing food on gas barbecues. I won't make any excuses. I am a real fire and wood pellet fan, but gas does have a place, and you can cook amazing food. And when you listen to everybody about the gas and the Maillard effect, that when the fat drips onto a hot surface and steam comes back into your food, as long as you've got the hot surface in your gas, and you have to heat up your gas barbecue properly, it's not just to turn it on and cook, because it's a big mistake that a lot of people make, isn't it? They turn on the gas and they try and cook on it when it hasn't warmed up. You still have to let it. Yeah. The good thing, even the steaks with the Napoleon, they've got that sizzle station. Yeah. And that gets really hot, and it gets very hot, so you've got to be careful that you don't burn your steaks. But people say that gas barbecues don't get hot enough to sear steaks, but they do.
Yeah, I think that I've got the Napoleon Rogue XT, the sizzle zone. I think it gets up to 800 degrees Celsius.
It's what you want on a cold morning.
Yeah, like you can actually see the heat. It like almost like vibrates where it gets so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great bits of kit. I mean, I've got the charcoal cast iron insert, so you can put the cast iron insert into the gas barbecue.
Yeah.
Put charcoal in it, light it with the gas, turn the gas off, and then use it as a charcoal barbecue. So, yeah,
and how do you find the temperature control? Because there isn't any airflow system, isn't there? There's nothing to damper or open up.
You know what? You have to sort of control it by opening and closing the lid. So it's one of them ones where you can basically set your less is more, basically. So don't overload it with charcoal, because obviously you're going to get sky high temperatures. But if you just put like a handful in, put almost like not enough, and then add it as you go, and then that way you can have a nice process of letting things cook gently, add a bit more charcoal.
And then you get that smoky flavour as well when that charcoal starts as well. It gets the infusion into your food, and it gives that lovely smoky flavour.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to like obviously move that charcoal back a little bit so it doesn't drip directly onto it and cause like, you know, dirty smoke to flavour your food. But yeah, mate, I'm a big fan of the Napoleon range, and yeah, the charcoal. Yeah, as long as you know your way around it, you can make some amazing food.
You certainly can. Certainly.
What got you into barbecue? Because obviously your main profession, cricketer.
Yeah.
So what led you into sort of food? Because obviously you've been on MasterChef as well. So
many moons ago, I think that was about 7 years ago. But yeah, back when I was 16 or 15, 16, my mum used to feed us at 5:30. As soon as the Neighbours theme tune came on, we were at the dinner table eating our dinner. I had two sisters, so I was 5 in our family, and I always wanted more. So by 7 o'clock, I was always hungry. So I was allowed to go back into the kitchen and make what I liked, but as long as I left the empty cartons out so my mum can replace them at Asda, other supermarkets available, just whacking it out. So I experimented with flavours in the kitchen, and then at 18, I was lucky enough to go to South Africa for 6 months playing cricket at a local club in Johannesburg called the Pirates, and they like to braai vlees. And so braai vlees is barbecuing in South Africa, and they cook on the real hard dense wood like the Kameeldern or the Mopani or the Rooibos, and it's really dense, it burns really hot, and it leaves good embers that you can cook on. So there was a lot of meat about and a lot of great flavours through the wood. I went back to South Africa 4 times, so I spent 2 years, 6 months in Joburg, 6 months in the Free State, which is in the middle of South Africa in farming country, and they really do like to braai vlees and drink brandywine. And we just loved that outside atmosphere, that you got the weather for it. You were sat outside, you are having a rehydrator, a drink after a long hard training session, refueling with your protein, and just having that great atmosphere and great time, enjoying each other's company over fire. But the little secret they had in South Africa is they had 2 stacks of wood. One stack was called drinking wood, and one stack was cooking wood. And it took me at least a week to find out the difference. So the stack of drinking wood was massive, and it was softwood. Right. And every time the women came around and said, are we ready to start cooking yet? The men would say, no, it's too fiery, too many flames, we need to let it die down a little bit. And so when they went back inside, we put more drinking wood on the fire, so that there was always fire when they came out to check. And then they put the real wood on for the cooking when we'd had enough of our rehydration. It was a good trick, but all that camaraderie outside, fire, smoke, smell, meat, veggies, everything, it was brilliant, and that got me hooked. And then I was lucky enough to tour the world for 10 years, and go around other places, and you travel like to the West Indies, Sri Lanka, India, Australia. They all cook outside, and they all have different fuels that they cook on, different flavors of food that they put into their food. So it was like a learning curve, and going around. And one of the favorite things is walking down an Indian side street and eating the street food. And you always get told, don't eat the local food in India because you'll get ill. And I find it's the other way around. If you go to somewhere down the street that's cooking local produce and that's getting turned over, and they know how to cook it because they've been cooking it for a long time, you get lovely flavors, and you don't get ill because everything's turned over. It's when you're in the hotels trying to eat the chicken Kievs that they haven't got a scuba luba how to cook it, and it's come out of the freezer, that you get ill.
Oh yeah. What's your food highlight then from traveling around?
Oh, wow, there's so many. Most probably my favourite restaurant was in Kenya. It was called Carnivores. And it was basically massive barbecues, they're massive spits, and they came round, and you had cards, red and green. Green means more meat, red means stop. And it was like an amphitheatre, and they had dancing people down in the amphitheatre where we were watching, while people came around with these massive sticks of meat. And you had the likes of impala, springbok, eland, crocodile, ostrich, steak, sausage, and you had a whole host of. There was some green stuff somewhere, but some watery salad, but they came around with these, and they carved it at the table. That to me was the idea of heaven. That it was just brilliant, absolutely fantastic.
But that's barbecue, isn't it? I was trying to like explain it the other day to someone, like, there's not many things that bring people together as much as cooking outside does. It's one of the things that if you have a barbecue outside, you can invite people you don't even really know, and there's always some sort of common ground to talk about because you're standing cooking food together. Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. If you have a dinner party or you have people around at your house, where does everybody gather? In the kitchen. Yeah. Even if it's the smallest room in the house and you've got beautiful space anywhere else, they're all in the kitchen. As soon as you light a fire or light the coals or put the gas on, everybody's like, it's like a honeypot, isn't it? Everybody attracts around the flames. And the one rule in South Africa, braai master and the tongue master, never touch anybody else's fire.
Oh, yeah,
don't criticize it. Don't look at it. Do not touch the tongues unless you're asked. Yeah.
People coming like, oh, what's on today? Like,
yeah. If you're looking, you're not cooking. But yeah, everybody wants a piece, don't they? They always know better. They always want to tell you how to barbecue, or you're doing that wrong. You're doing that wrong. You should be putting that on ice. Do one. So yeah, but it does draw people around, and I just love I love people eating food and thinking, wow, did you pre-cook that in the oven first? No. And that's what, and you always get asked, did you pre-cook it in the oven first? How long does it take?
Yep.
And you cook it until it's cooked. And I know we've had this conversation before about the temperatures and the thermopens, and again other pens available, but meat temperature probes are amazing, and it makes you a fantastic chef, because you never undercook things, you never overcook things, and you can put out amazing food without burning it or serving it up raw.
And you know what, like, basically, being a home cook, I'm not trained in any way, shape, or form. Got no issue with using a thermopen. I mean, like, obviously professional chefs do touch feel and all that, but for a home cook to have something that can show you that your meat is done perfectly, why would you not do that?
Yeah, why not? And I bet you at times you ignore the pen and you think, you know, it just needs a little bit more. It's not quite soft enough, and you get that probe like butter. Have you ever probed butter?
Yeah.
Have you probed butter before? Do you know what it's like probing butter? Because I've never probed a block of butter before. I don't know. Is it frozen butter? Is it refrigerated butter? Is it room temperature butter? What is probe? And a lot of it you do on look and feel, and that it's a lovely backup, isn't it? That you've got the temperature probe. Do you know what? I thought it was right, and it is. I can whack that off now.
Yeah, like, be safe, as you say. Like, some things you think, oh, that might be a bit overdone, but then you probe it and it's like not safe to eat. You think, oh dear.
Yeah, and that's that's what I love about fires. Every fire is different. Every time you light the fire, there's little nuances. There'll be hot spots. There'll be a different bit of fuel in there that causes something different, and to get that consistency, to play around with the fire and to know how things cook and why things are doing it and what colour smoke means what. I just think it's just a fantastic thing to play about with, and I always say that barbecue food tastes better.
Oh yeah, and same with, as you say, like your classes you do. You mentioned you do like a wood pellet, you do a ceramic, you do a gas, because everything cooks different. Like so I'm cooking on the KJ3 today with the slow roller. It's a different style of cooking to a pellet grill or a gas grill, and it takes different times, and you know, the process is a little bit different, the smoke profile is a little bit different because you've got the slow roller in. So it's good to actually do a class, because I get messages all the time saying, oh, what barbecue should I buy? Like, I don't know, I've not done much barbecue, but I want a barbecue.
Yeah.
For someone like you who runs a school, who can say, well, you know, if you like this style of cooking, this would be perfect. If you like this, maybe a pellet grill for you is best. That's a great thing to have.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of things, where you can come down and try them out. And try for yourself. What do you actually try having a go on the ceramic, on the gas, and see what you like. And I had a guy came down the other day, about a month, about 3 months ago now, that were playing about on the KJ, and he looked at the Traeger and he went, I want one of them. And I said, well, you've just bought a KJ, and not for. And they said, yeah, but they complement each other quite well. So he was playing about on the KJ, and he bought a Traeger. And there's little bits and bats that they'll come around and say, well, that barbecue does that better than that, and what's the happy compromise? And I love the fact that people can try before they actually make a purchase, and the look on people's faces and said, I've cooked this on a barbecue. Like something really simple like flatbreads. You make a flatbread and you whack it straight on the grill, and you have lovely flatbreads in what, 2 minutes, 5 minutes when you toasted them off. And there's messages I've cooked this for the kids. We're using your flatbreads again and everything else. And I'm not a massive stickler for recipes. I like looking at recipes and finding out what I actually want to go in where. So I look at 3 recipes for one dish, and then I do it to taste. And I think that is half the fun about cooking it yourself. You can cook it to how you want it to taste. And if you want to throw a handful of coriander in there, or a handful of chili in there, or whatever it is that you're doing, I think that is the fun bit about being the cook, being outside, cooking what you want and the flavors that you want to use.
Yeah, and that's it. Practice makes perfect. Some recipes are not to my taste. So yeah, I add a little bit, take a little bit away. But that's the beauty of cooking outside, isn't it? You can experiment, and you know, we've been lucky this year. I mean, lockdown's been pretty poo, but I'm not being funny. I've had the opportunity to cook every day, sometimes 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on my grill, because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. There's two experiments that I want to talk to you about.
Go on.
The one that I'll give you hats off, pineapple chicken. I like that. Making a stand out of a pineapple and doing a beer can chicken on a pineapple. Hats off there. Yeah. Bacon on custard creams.
Mate,
nah. What the? Let's take a biscuit and wrap bacon in it.
But the Americans did Oreos.
Yeah, I know.
Oreo's a bit of a crap biscuit. A custard cream's so much better. But mate, we've had people do fig, what they call fig rolls. People have done
that sounds better. A bit of fruit, bit of sweetness in there like that. You know what you need to do next? Tempura bourbons.
In my deep fat fryer, yeah, get that out.
That'd be great fun.
Yeah, I'll be up for that totally.
Oh, it's
so
fantastic.
What's next for you? What's the plans for 2021?
Oh wow, we've got 2021 coming up. I've got hopefully just building up the school, building up the recognition, building up the followings, and saying, look, we get 2 million visitors to Rutland a year because it's such a beautiful place. There's a massive reservoir. There's water sports. There's bird watching. There's cycling. There's walking. There's lots of activities around, and it's a beautiful part of the world. So hopefully we can get this place bumping and thriving and everything else, and then we can start going into the fun bits, like putting on events. The garden centre are developing, and they're going to have a big, maybe 100-seater barn in the back where we can do some good events. They've got a 200-seat marquee, and we've got 14 acres out the back down to the water, so we can put on some great big events. I want to get some of my friends up here and do some Q&A sort of things. I want to get a wine club going, a gin test. They do their own gin at Rutland Water at the garden centre. So we've got.
Steve and I were looking for venues to do a bit of a live Sizzling Saturday. So yeah, we'll come up.
Yeah, please do. So we've done the smoked trout. So we're trying to get everything local, because Rutland is a very little county, and everybody's quite likes the fact that everybody's supporting each other. So we're taking trout out of the Rutland water, and we're brining it and curing it in the gin, and then we're cold smoking it on the churros, and it's beautiful. So we've done the strawberry gins, we've done the migration gin, some of the water. So the gin's got botanics from Africa, where the ospreys go. So they've got African and Rutland botanics in, and that complements the trout really well.
Awesome. I've just had to take you inside because my battery was about to die, so I thought I'd bring you inside.
Yes, I know the feelings. So we've got lots of things coming up. We've got our own rubs at the moment, but we're trying to build. I'll tell you what we haven't got in this school, because I took it home. A Della Vito. The clay. Yes. Yeah, they're amazing. Lovely bit of kit, and too portable. So it's 30 kgs, so you can pick it up and move it. And my son, 13, loves a bit of a pizza. So I had to take it home and say, right, it's pizza night tonight. But yeah, they're quite a cool bit of kit. So if people want to, and the great thing about it takes half an hour to heat up. Whereas so you can heat it up in 25 minutes and be cooking on it after half an hour. And because most clay ovens, it takes sort of 3-4 hours, especially the bigger one. So 25 minutes, heat it up, and off you go. We had some fun cooking on there. We cooked a whole gurnard on there. We cooked ribs. We cooked steak on there. Scallops. We cooked all sorts. It's just another heat source. Is it another oven that you can play about with the fire? And that, to me, is half the fun. Is what can you actually push the boundaries to do, and what can you do on different bits of kit that nobody else has thought about.
But it's the same, isn't it, as well? Like different woods give different flavors. I mean, I've got a pizza oven as well, and depending on what sort of wood you put in it, oak gives it a different flavor, or you can use some like apple or pear, or wood is an ingredient and a flavoring like a rub would be. So why not experiment? And pizza, once you've got your head around how to make a dough, which trial and error, but
yes, it's nothing better, is there? Ernie had the pizza and said we're never having takeaway pizza again. And it's so much cheaper, but it tastes so much better, and it's that sort of thing. And I've made dough balls as well, because Ernie loves his garlic dough balls from Pizza Express, other pizza people available. But making garlic dough balls and the dips, he's happy as Larry. So he's really nice. Tonight I'm going to cook. I've just been to our local fishmongers, and I've got some skate wing. I've got some hake and halibut and some sea bass. So we've got three fish that we'll give a go in the oven, and serving that I think with a wild mushroom risotto.
Oh mate, that sounds lovely.
Yeah. So it's a Saturday evening, isn't it? We'll have a play about.
Well, that's the thing, is it? Fish. I've never done much fish on my barbecue until lockdown, and then I was approached by a few sort of fishmongers in East London who went from providing meat to restaurants that had shut to doing like an online, obviously like an online ordering thing, and so obviously provided a little bit of fresh fish, and we did lobster and
how nice is lobster on the barbecue?
We had lobster tails, we've had sea bass, like wild sea bass.
Yes.
Fish is so underrated. So
I
don't think of house that as well, because you do it outside. Sorry.
Yeah. I love it, and I love how, because you can get things really hot, you can get that crispy skin. So you put it on the cast iron that's really hot, or a soapstone in the KJ, you can get that skin really crispy, but the flesh still moist and not overcooked. That to me, Ernie says, you're never cooking another fish unless it's on the soapstone, because I like the crispy skin. He's getting all right, food critic. I'm going to start calling.
He's taking your title soon, yeah.
Well, he feel free. He had to do some homework the other day to cook us some food. For I used to call it home economics. It's now food tech.
Oh yeah, did that at school.
What have you got on there then, big man?
Turkey, look. This is
I can't see it. There we go. Crown of turkey. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, yeah, look.
Oh, look at that sizzle. I can't smell it, but I like it when I can smell it.
Oh yeah, it's been on for a couple of hours now, but I like that skin to be really crispy. So I'll put it inside down with the slow roller in.
Yes. What temp have you got that on?
150.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so hot enough to obviously crisp that skin up, but not too hot to rush the cooking,
Yeah.
So,
I did a porchetta on my 3. Friday, was it? Was it yesterday? Thursday maybe. I did it at 220 to get that. It is, isn't it? They're all the same. To get that crackling going, and it was a massive piece. It only just fit in. But that porchetta was absolutely fantastic. It had that smoky flavour, crispy crackling, and I stuffed it with spinach, bit of cream cheese, and pine nuts.
Oh man!
A sprinkling of some magic dust. It was great. It was.
Listen, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Can't wait to come up and see the actual school in action.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have a day up here, and we'll have some rehydration juice.
Drinking with you.
That'll be amazing. I look forward to getting you up here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So just tell everyone where they can find you, where they can buy the vouchers, and
so I'm Hoggy's Grill 602. Or if you go on the internet, I'm hoggysgrill.com. On Instagram, I'm Hoggy's Grill 602, and on Twitter, I'm Hoggy's G, and then personally, I'm just Hoggy 602.
Nice one, mate.
No worries. Thank you for having me on, Swire.
Any pleasure. Any pleasure. Anytime, mate, you want to come on, just let us know. You're more than welcome. And I'll get Hillary, I'll give him a little spelling your name wrong.
I'll give him a spelling lesson. Give him an English lesson. The Aussie Barstool.
Yeah, he's Australian, isn't he? Don't know.
Yeah, illiterate little toe rag. Awesome.
Right, mate, I'll let you go. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, boss. Nice to see you. Cheers, Bob. Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That was Matthew Hoggard from Hoggy's Grill. I will put the link to his website in the description below, so check him out. He does barbecue classes, sells Kamados, Napoleons, Royal Kings, any grill you can imagine, Traegers. Yeah, so check him out. Thanks for